Hello and welcome. This is Moradian and myself, Meyer-Nandi. Our intention is to give change agents every Friday a little moment to unwind and let the weekend and all the important work we do take a rest as well.
So we'll be coming each week to you, and we hope that this will support and nourish all the good that you do in the world. So what is that phrase again, Shanta?
How can you burn for a cause without
burning out?
Exactly.
There we go.
I'm excited doing this with you. Feel free to send us some questions, some suggestions. We're here for you.
Okay, and we'll get started. It's just remembering that the body is our primary dwelling place. It's our primary, when we talk about the environment, when we talk about nature, this is it right here. This is the primary dwelling place. It is nature. It's interfacing with nature, no matter what kind of technical or man-made items you're dealing with. We're never out. It's like embodiment. We're never out of nature. We can talk about that, and that's certainly debatable how we language that as well. But having this primary dwelling place and orienting from here, from this information, knowing how you are, knowing where you are. So that's what I'd like to say in terms of language. Shanta, do you want me to move straight into the movement stuff, or do you want to where do you want to go?
I'd have two little questions.
Sure.
One is, how can we access more the information our body's telling us? So let's say I'm sick, so that's something then I can see as some kind of a warning. But I guess as babies, we had that innate capacity of reading what our body's telling us, like, I'm hungry, I'm afraid, I want to sleep. Whereas now we have unlearned that and need to relearn that. And that's not so easy. If I speak about my personal experience, that would be one question. And the other is also of how the way we then keep our body. So let's say in terms of posture, what I've noticed is I used to be a bit nervous before giving a talk, and working on my posture and on my breathing. So for instance, when you feel stressed or afraid, your breath gets short. Whereas if you're sad, you stop breathing sometimes. And you can change the emotional sensation through just breathing differently or having that posture. I mean, as women, we also know when we're in that dark alleyway and there's a group of guys, how our bodies instantly go into non-offensive, but also not too meek. So this is also a way we try to work with our bodies, not to appear too cocky or not too insecure. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that from your perspective, and then, of course, move straight into an embodiment experience.
Okay, all right. So how do we get better at doing that? It's practice. It's practice, because what we're doing is we're repatterning, and what we're doing is reconnecting the neural pathways through repetitive patterns of practice. So first is identifying the cycle. When do you just shut down completely? Like, for example, just check right now. This is not a judgment thing, but just check right now. Like, how are you feeling? Do you feel your body? Where do you feel your body? How's your breath? And it's just that check-in kind of keeps us connected. But often, I can even see it sometimes, in our posture of how we get all of our energy up into the head, and it all comes forward, and the body is left behind. We're pulling out of our body, actually, to have the head like, and it's a settling into, but it requires slowing down a little bit. It requires quieting down a little bit. And the challenge with this is that the structures that we live in are asking us to, speed up, are asking us, to pay attention to something else. So there's a contradiction right now as things are shifting. So it's very challenging to do, but it just requires slowing down, feeling, and being aware. One of the resistances to this is discomfort. And that discomfort can be, something feels too good. Discomfort can be that, something is just unknown. There's all kinds of different discomforts we have. And our automatic response, I think, with discomfort is to shy away from it. And to also, I don't know about you all, but for me, in my experience, I think historically, I used to think that discomfort was a bad thing. But actually, discomfort is just information. And it's interesting information, because it can help you adjust. So basically, it really, truly is that feedback system that you tap into it, and you can orient better. You can adjust. But there's so much in education. I'm sorry, I talk a little bit too much. There's so much in education that teaches us not to. All right, I teach rebels and I teach artists. Okay, because basically,
Powerful and so beautiful.
What it is I teach people to be awake, but what that means is sometimes you can't always cooperate with what's requested of you. So then you need to modify or converse or reject And that's a challenging situation to be in. In certain situations, we don't have that freedom. So it's tricky. How do we honor our own felt needs and still participate in our world in a way that works? And at the same time, our challenge is, in addition to that, how do we also begin to transform our world so it works better? So it's all of that all at the same time.
Yeah. If I may talk about a hack that I found to see whether there's discomfort, because I used to not always feel that discomfort, because at some point in time, my body just felt it's better for me to not feel these things. Is that my eating habits change, or I somehow feel I should skip my yoga practice. And these are exactly in those moments where I need them more. So it's for some people it's munching or urges to smoke or whatever that can actually lead us to understanding, okay, something is a little bit different. So that could also be a path to actually identify discomfort.
Yeah, I think actually you're exactly right, Shanta, that constantly observing our patterns, so the internal patterns that we have, but also those interrelational patterns with whatever in our world we find. Absolutely, yeah. So your second question was about posture?
Exactly. Okay. How we can actually work with breath and movement to counterbalance states like fear, kind of standing up or wear that superhero costume. I recommend it.
Yeah. I think, so my answer might not be the same as other people's answers, and I think all answers are useful because we're so different that what I say might not apply for some of you, and for some of you it might be just the thing. I mean, who knows? And you have your own and you invent your own as well. I find that using and this is the physical mechanical structure of the body. So we are mechanical, organic, chemical, like we're multiple things, not just mechanical, but we do have a mechanical structure of our bones and our musculoskeletal system. So aligning that, so we can do this right now. So where you are, we can just do it seated, it's okay. So you just get your sit bones kind of planted, so you feel where the bottom of your bum is. Okay, and then from here, just see how you're feeling for a second. You can just lengthen the back of your neck and lower your gaze to help feel a little bit more. And just feel, where does it feel a little heavy, a little hot, a little tired, a little burning, a little uncomfortable. Okay, and then from there, just see if you can lengthen the neck. So you're creating space between the vertebrae and the neck. Soften the front of the ribs just a little bit and then push down into your sit bones just a bit. So imagine like a plant. So you've got roots going down through your sit bones deep into the ground and out through the top of your head, out the hair, you've got leaves moving upward. So, and you can use whatever imagery works for you, but as you create that length, you're creating space for your organs. Okay, and for me, I utilize an image of a plumb line, which is the line of gravity that falls through my body, through your body, through anybody, from the center of the crown of the head. So go ahead and just touch that here for yourself, right where you just kind of, right on the top. Yeah, so right top center. Okay, so from that top center of the head through the sit bones to the center of the earth, feel for the line. You can move yourself around a little bit here. You can move a little forward, back, you can drop a shoulder, just feel around, and then come back when you're ready to that length where you feel like a pendulum that's still from the crown of the head down. So this would be your plumb line. So what I do to feel at ease and strong as much of the time as possible is I feel for my plumb line and I let myself rest on that strength. And then I bring my breath into that. And that's really, then I don't have to think too much about fixing this or fixing that. I have the integrity of myself.
Thank you so much, Anne. You just made me forget time, and probably the rest of the group feels in a similar way. This has been really beautiful. What I love about exercises like this is that it actually is an empowering state where we don't become victim to our external circumstances, not even to our emotions, where we have tools where we don't need a therapist, acupuncturist, or massage therapist, and we still do need them, but which gives us a certain amount of control, which goes far beyond the mind. And it took me a while to actually really understand the need, but since a few years, I really swear by all kinds of practices like Qigong or breath work. I've totally slowed down now, but we would like to give you all the opportunity of asking some questions to Anne and Caroline for the next 10 minutes. And this is your moment to squeeze out this vast amount of knowledge, which is heart, mind, body centered. Please just start, whoever wants to. This is a safe circle, and all questions are welcome.
Yeah, I would like to add that it's so important that now we think these two concepts together, And what would be the first question from my side is for Caroline. Is there the freedom to feel in this new work? Because I always wonder if we really try to feel the body within the work environment and to really change the world. How do you think of in your structures?
There's always something missing because still it's a simulation, to be honestly true. It's different to feel, like Anne says, another person. There's a vibration, there's electricity, life, which is not there. And I'm very, and I would love to talk to you anyway, because I also studied movement, besides tons of other things. And I've been in my 20s and 30s also an experimental dancer, a movement dancer. And I'm a singer. So what you are just saying, I've been giving workshops on presentation and breath technique actually for my team for a while. To say, relax and do things, relax your face, touch your body, feel your body. In general, we are not touching ourselves anymore. There is something you need, you get some fluid soap and you don't even have the soap which you have to use with your hands on, and you don't rub your body. You need to feel yourself, your feet. And I'm very thankful for this. I didn't know this actually. And my most favorite exercise is the one with the hands on your back, which is my basic speech exercise for everybody. And I always say it's a cleaning lady exercise, because when you're cleaning, a lot of times you have to go down. So you go down, but you put your hands on your back and then you feel it and you go up and you feel your breath. And after a while, when you're doing this, you feel the strength. So I think it's very important. And we sort of like have check-ins and how are we and how are we doing? Do we need a minute? What can we change? Now it's too much. It's fine, and same in terms of sickness. I mean, sometimes we're working on projects and as we're not that many, if somebody is sick, the person is sick, and we don't tell anybody, oh, we need this done. We always say, take your time, do anything, just get well. And we think this is very, very, very important. So let's face it, it's a virtual thing. And let's face it, the more it's virtual, the more we actually have to be aware of what we are. And we are still material,
Yeah. Trust is often also a choice. And at the same time, it's about finding that right sweet spot between trusting and also being good in our boundaries in our own space. Such inspiration. I think, I don't know how you are doing, but my head is buzzing with ideas and thoughts and feelings. We will take you through our wish process, which means we start, so now it's 10 past, we start with around 10-12 minutes per point of first looking at a vision. So what could be a vision of the world of work through the feminine value and embodiment lens? It's just about getting that process started, because that the same applies to self-development. In order to have the kinds of outcomes we desire, we need to have a bigger vision. It's not just enough to say, we don't want burnout culture. It's important to have that. I want this workplace where I feel I can still be a mom, and where I feel validated, where I feel, so kind of going into that vision of what that will look like, and then intuiting what that will feel like. And for that, Anna has, again, prepared some beautiful slides. Rebecca, that's exactly what we're trying to do, is to build that tribe, or we call it that ring, where we find more and more like-minded people powering these ideas we actually all secretly hope will be implemented. And this way we want to create some momentum.
Yeah, and you're the pioneers, because we're just setting it up, and we will set up different communities on different topics, and it will be nice and well functioning in a few weeks or months.
I would like to add to what you just said, the word hope. I feel hopeful every time I get in contact with other people who obviously strive for the same and hope for the same and wish for the same. That gives me hope, because sometimes you feel very alone and you feel like, okay, everyone out there just feels totally fine with how we are living and what our life has become. And it's just good to see that people out there want and strive for something else.